I don't know how this fucking works. Hey, we are streaming.
Whoa.
I know,
Sweet.
right? This is pretty amazing. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Side Quest. Actually, before I say that, let me make sure it's streaming to the. Okay. Oh, it's working. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Side Quest. It's Dolly Demoski and the whole team, and I got it working. All I had to do was just click the button, and we got a whole group of folks here. We are going to talk Bagel Guy here on the Side Quest. I'm Dolly Demoski, extremely red for some reason with the camera over here. I am not that red, but
Next thing I teach you for streaming is how to color balance your webcam.
yeah, exactly. I'm on my Windows my Windows laptop right now. Joining me above me, you can see that Tom Johnson,
Hello.
or at least his icon. Right there, you can see Aaron Scratty Bones Kelly.
Hey, they changed the label of Fireball. for
Whoa,
Halloween.
interesting. Now it's the devil.
I didn't know you were a sorority girl.
Hey man,
Way over there with my giant ass hand is JJ,
Oh boy, hey there.
and then Samuel.
Hello, friends. I thought I was going to get my full name. I just got Samuel. Like I just upset my dad or something.
Samuel. How you guys doing?
it's actually Sam Ewell. He's the head of the big vape company that makes all the Ewell products.
Sam Jewel. It's Sam Jewel.
Sam Joel.
Sam Ewell.
How you guys doing on the side quest? Look at this. I feel like a big boy. I feel like a big boy. I'm getting it like 2 weeks in a row. It's worked. Who'd have thunk it that all I had to do was actually follow the rules for a change?
Hey Dally, did you remember to tweet it out?
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
You guys
Professional
just talk. Just
streaming.
talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, well, let me pose a question to the room while Dally's doing this. So I got affiliate status on Twitch at the tail end of August, and then intentionally did not stream any of September. Do you think my first stream in October should be first September stream?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. If you've got the idea, you have to run with it. At this
Yeah,
point.
see, that's what I think.
And you should just play. You should just play Conan Exile, so they ban your account immediately.
Big dick swinging.
Yeah.
That's the only video in my entirety of like putting videos up on the internet for 5 years. It's the only video that's ever been demonetized for me.
Nice. Was it because of the giant dicks?
I didn't censor the dicks well enough.
Yeah.
It's not
Well enough.
demonetized. It's demonetized.
I like that game, and I think that game would be 100 times better if there was an option that you could toggle on the options that just put a big black bar. That game would be
A ginormous black bar. So
Just,
hey,
just
before
tracked to it correctly. Yeah.
before we start, we had a couple of slight delays. One was just stupid family stuff for me. Actually, wonderful family stuff for me. The other one was Aaron was running a little late, and I want to hear this story, Aaron.
Tell me about
So-
the crimes.
That's
you
the
committed.
whole reason that Tom is on tonight.
So I got home from work, and then I was like, oh, I left something in the hallway. I need to step out, and just out of fucking habit, after putting all of my shit down, I stepped out and went click, and then closed the door behind me, and then I literally one step into the hallway went, I don't have my keys on me.
Oh shit.
So I texted my landlord, and I said, hey, do you have a spare key? And he went, nope. And so I texted a bunch of people, and I said, hey, do you guys any of you guys have lockpicks? And they all said no. And I said,
That's,
oh yeah,
that's shocking.
I said, oh, me neither. And so then I went to wing night because I had my wallet on me, and I was like, well, fuck this, I'm going to get some food. So when I was at wing night, I was like talking to the bartenders, and I was like, hey, weird question, not for crimes, can I borrow some hairpins? And they pulled all the
Not for
hairpins together,
crimes.
and so I got a hairpin, and you need 2 to pick a lock. So that didn't work. And then I came
Hold
home.
on. Did you
and-
take 2 hairpins because you saw it? You remember it from like Fallout?
No, I took a hairpin because I needed 2 to pick a lock, and I only got 1. You need 2, but
Have you tried planting it and just hoping another one will grow?
maybe next time I'll put a little pot in the hallway and just put it in there. But then I did a lap around the building and went, oh, somebody forgot a ladder here. Hey, my bedroom's right there. And so I walked around the other side of the building, and my next door neighbor was over there, and he's way smaller than me. And I said, hey, do you want to climb the ladder and break into my apartment for me? And he went, all right.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to attempt.
And he put his bong down.
Also, like, are there no cops in Canada?
The third floor of my building is a single apartment, and it is a cop, but weed's legal here, so.
Because that seems like like climbing out like into a building from the outside.
Oh, it's
seems
fine.
like a surefire way to like at least around these parts to commit suicide by cop.
Listen, if she would have been home, I would have asked her first. Because then it would have been all above board. But yeah, no, so we set the ladder up and he shimmied in, wedged the window open from the outside, which is, worrisome going forward that I know it's that easy, but then he shimmied
And they
in.
know that now too.
Look, man, if someone wants to kill you, they're gonna kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
A door is not the barrier.
Yeah, but my PS4 is right there. They could half wedge themselves in my bedroom window and just grab the PS4 and leave. Back down
Well, it's
the
all
ladder.
good because you can just buy a PS5 next year. It's all
Yeah.
good.
That's true.
And their new controllers.
We'll get to that for sure. We're gonna that'll be
Oh,
part
that
of
was this week.
That was this week.
Jesus Christ!
I know it's been a
Yep.
long ass week. Since you've been speaking, Aaron, what have you been playing, dude? You just posted a nice preview.
I did, and it was definitely on time and right when the embargo went up, and definitely not
Not at all.
definitely not more than a week late. And then I happened to see the email again and said, "Oh, I should do that."
Oh, what was the email? Hey, just checking to see if you got the preview.
No,
out.
it was the original email that
Oh,
was still
shit.
just sitting in my. I cleared my inbox and it was sitting there, and I went, "Oh shit, I got to do that." And then I checked the embargo date on it, and it was October 3rd, and I said, "All right." Actually had something with lead time and totally squandered that. I did a preview on a game called Mosaic, and that game seems really cool. And I don't think there's an official release date for it. It's just 2019.
Oh, this game looks neat.
Yeah.
I want to play that. That game seems really fucking cool. I wrote a preview for it. It was like three or 400 words or something. Did any of you guys play Every Day the Same Dream?
No, I don't know what that is.
It was a 2D. I want to say I want to call it side-scrolling, but that conjures a certain type of video game that wasn't. But basically, it was a game where you would wake up and you're a dude, and you would walk to the right, and you'd like walk out of your house and like down the street, and you would end up in like an office building, and you would sit down in a cubicle, and at the end of the day, you would walk to the right, and then the loop would reset. And you just did that over and over again, and then eventually, like one day, like you don't bother to put clothes on because there's little interactions as you walk, and you don't put clothes on, and you walk to work, and your boss yells at you and sends you home, and the loop resets, and you do like a handful of those things, and then at the very end, you do it one more time, and you walk into your office building, and you walk to the very end instead of sitting down, and you get in the elevator, and you go to the roof, and there's a dude who's just like a clone of you standing at the edge of the roof, and he throws himself off the roof, and the game ends.
All right. What do I have to do? What is the chain of events that will lead me to being a fish-headed man, like in this image I found when
In
I searched
Mosaic?
Mosaic game? Yeah.
So the preview I played was the first like 30 to 60 minutes of gameplay. And it was basically that where you wake up the first day and you're in your apartment, and it's like you walk to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, straighten your hair, shit like that. And you walk out your door, and then you go to work, and there's like a little mini game, and then the loop resets. The second day, I walked into the bathroom, and there was a fucking talking goldfish in the sink. He was like, "Hey man, what's up?"
Oh,
Howdy,
this is from the people who made the baby survival horror game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. And at the end of that second day, like I saw the goldfish, and you can flush the goldfish or put them in your shirt pocket. I put them in my shirt pocket, and then I went to work. And then at one point, your dude looks across the street on the way to work, and there's like a butterfly, and then all of a sudden you're controlling the butterfly, and your dude's walking on autopilot, and you're like flying this butterfly through like a construction, and there's like a construction zone, and there's like sparks, and you got to not get hit by them, and then at the very end you get sucked into a fan and ground up and die. And that's where the preview ended, and that game reminded me so much of this game that I was just talking about that I was like, I gotta fucking play this whole thing. I gotta play it right now. Oh, it's not out. I can't play it all right now. But it seems really good, and it seems really weird.
Huh.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you got it's like a day and a half of the game right before, at least in the preview. that you get to try
Yeah,
out?
about that. It's like the first full loop where you wake up and go to work, and then it resets, and then the second day you wake up and do your shit in your apartment, and then you're walking to work, and then you have that sequence with the butterfly, and then you stop like on a bridge, and there's like 1,000 cars, and I think I might have even used that image in my preview, but they're all heading for the same office building, and then it cuts to like a title screen and says, "That's the preview. Go away now." And I said, "But I don't want to." But I was talking to myself.
It's there. So I remember seeing this game at E3, or at least seeing it during the one of the Microsoft press event or one of the press conferences at E3 this year. But there's this really cool sort of loop game mechanic that I'm really digging, and it's not just Mosaic. There's a few other ones that are kind of the same thing, where there's a sort of like set time frame and it's looping. Whether it's you're just kind of going day by day in the life, or it's like you're living the same 20 seconds over and over again, or whatever, or same.
There was that one that was like, it was like called 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that premise intrigues me, and this idea of kind of it's like this weird. At least Mosaic sounds weirdly existential.
Yeah.
So but it's this looping existentialism. So I don't know. It just seems really interesting. I'm kind of looking forward.
I got 15 minutes into it, and all of a sudden there was a talking goldfish. So I think it's going to go on a real like surrealist bent, which I'm all about. But I think everybody should play that game when it comes out. I just don't know when it's coming out.
I think it was this year sometime, but who knows where.
It says if you look it up on like Steam or whatever, it says 2019, but it doesn't say anything beyond that. So hopefully soon.
Cool.
So I played that, and then I just
you played it on PC, correct?
I did play it on PC. And then I've the other thing I'm playing. It's not. I don't think it's recent. It's a JRPG called Earthlock. And I'm only playing that because I was sitting here the other day and I said I want to play something with turn-based combat. And so I went on Steam and I searched the tag turn-based combat, and it was on sale for like $6.
Turn-based combat. Yeah, it's Earthlock. I had heard about it. That's on a few. It's on a few consoles, I think, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It came out last year.
Okay.
It seems okay.
All right. It's kind of good to go back to some of the classic mechanics of like turn-based combat, and I actually like random battles sometimes. So, for the fuck of it, cool, very cool. All right, Tom, it's your first time back on the show in a while. Now that you're alive again, how's it going, dude?
Oh, not bad. Very tired, but other than that, pretty good.
Very cool, very cool. You've been traveling like crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I have more coming up.
Yeah.
So
Top secret travel. So what have you been playing lately that you can talk about?
Well, what did you guys talk about last week? Just so I don't like.
Just doesn't matter. What have you been playing?
All right,
you can
cool.
Talk about shit.
I'm playing a lot of stuff that's on Apple Arcade still. I'm still chipping away at the golf.
So I'm really close. I mean, it's free for a month, right? You can get 30 days for free or whatever. I'm super close to getting it as soon as I
do it. There's a lot of good stuff.
Okay, it's only $5 a month.
Yeah. And like, even if you just do it for like a month or two, just to play the stuff that's there right now, it's super worth it. Like, I could think, like,
is it on? It's on Apple TV now, right?
It's on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
You can play it on your Mac now too with the
update.
With the update, which I'm currently installing as we speak. But so a bunch of stuff there, like Grindstone is really good, and
cool.
that like
that's is that Cappy?
That's Cappy.
Sweet.
Yeah. There's a game called Outlanders, which is like this really cool little low poly, like a small city builder or town builder. I've heard good things about Bleak Sword. I still have yet to go through a bunch of stuff that I'd rather play on PC, honestly, because there are a bunch of games I also have. But like, I have to see what the offering is on Mac.
Sure.
Because if I could just play those on there instead of having to buy it for PC, I'll just check that out. And other than that, I've just been playing a bunch of Destiny. The update's pretty good. They've had a bunch of little quality of life stuff. Weird UI changes though. Sam, you played some of that too, right?
Yeah, it feels like riding a bike that you haven't ridden in like 4 years.
It's like going home, but when going home means everyone that makes you.
Which version are you guys playing? The new free to play version or the OG?
No, I'm playing the. So basically, the free to play version is just the first year of Destiny 2.
Okay. So in case you missed Destiny 2 the first time around, this is what you get.
Yeah, but I'm playing the Shadowkeep
Okay.
stuff. Their battle pass is actually really good and implemented well. You earn levels at a pretty fast clip. Over the last week, I'm already at like 25 out of 100. And they just dole out like really good stuff to help you with like leveling up and infusion and all that stuff, and the occasional armor piece for cosmetics and whatnot.
Okay.
How are the emotes?
So fun fact: when I switched to PC 2 years ago, I never bothered to learn how you emote until literally last week.
Nice.
It turns out it's the arrow keys.
Nice. Turns out it's the arrow keys.
You got any good ones? You got spicy noodles?
I do have spicy noodles. I have that. I have a table flip. I have one where you like pull out, you do like a standoff and then quick draw.
Yep.
I got the popcorn one.
You got the dab? Is there a dab?
I don't know. I have the Elaine Bennis bad dancing from Seinfeld.
There is a selfie one that was pretty fun on
I have
PS4
that
for a
one.
while. You could just take screenshots of it and take selfies on your adventures. It was pretty fun.
I also have it's part of like you and someone else have to do it, but it does the Dragon is it the Dragon Ball Z Fusion one? I think so. Yeah, game's still really good, but very dumb in some ways. The story is not done, I guess. Because like the thing about the story is like you start it and you play it and it both ends and just doesn't end because it's like part of that active like we're gonna update this story over the coming like however much time. So you get to like the end of what they had as their first chunk of campaign, and then it just like halts and it's like, all right, go do stuff. And then like I logged in a few days later and like I got a cutscene and it's like this stuff is now available. So it's been interesting to see how that game has is reshaping itself like without Activision.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I as well as I'm curious to see how this goes without the Activision crutch.
Yeah. There's been a lot of scheduled downtime because a lot of people seem to be playing it. So...
I think the last count I saw was 2.6 million players logged in on PC.
Wow.
Jesus.
Oof.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Nah, Destiny's a dead game, guys.
It's a dead game. I love that. It's a dead game. Play Anthem.
They'll never make it on their own.
I mean, how's it gonna handle being out there when you've got bangers like Anthem to compete?
Yikes.
My favorite thing was like people saying, "Oh, they're definitely gonna die." Look, they couldn't even handle this day one launch. Everything's breaking. I'm like, have you never played like an MMO or a live service game before on the day it came out?
They're always like this.
Like you should have been around for fucking when Final Fantasy 14 launched to Realm Reborn, and it was like 6-hour queues to get in.
I think there's still people waiting.
And like, yeah. You would have little scripts up to make it so when you went idle, you didn't like it would make it so you moved every few minutes so you wouldn't lose the connection, so you could just leave, so you didn't have to log in later. You could just like leave yourself
because it would fucking boot you after 15 minutes of standing still.
Oh, jeez.
The first like day and a half, I think it was. There were cutscenes toward the end of the campaign that were longer than 15 minutes. So if you were watching them, it wasn't detecting that you were in a cutscene. You were just standing. So you would finish the cutscene and it would error out and you would get booted from the game and it wouldn't save your progress.
Oh shit.
It's an endless loop game, actually.
This one another endless loop game. There you go. More like endless loot.
For some reason, they didn't realize, like, okay, let's associate the checkpoint with the beginning of the cutscene and triggering it instead of the end.
Well,
have they fixed it since then, right?
Oh yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah. But you get
sort of.
There are companies that don't fix their shit, so
No. Thankfully,
you-
Bungie isn't one of them.
Yeah.
You in Final Fantasy 14, you go into one of the cutscenes now, and it gives you a warning beforehand. Like it checkpoints you, and then it goes, "Hey, this is gonna take a while, so like go get a snack or something."
It's like back when I would play Final Fantasy 11, I was like, okay, there's a 38-minute boat ride, so you should go.
Oh
Like,
god, yeah, and they were like fucking
Oh,
real
God.
time. I remember that.
And you,
oh
you,
my
you
god.
go and do something, and you come back, and you're fucking dead because like a squid attacked you,
Yeah.
the ship or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss that game so much.
So do I. We should start the. It's still going, right?
You could,
Yeah.
I
We
think
can
the
start
servers
it
are
back
still
up.
running.
It's still they've finished content as of
Yeah.
I think late last year, but the servers are still there. You can play it.
We should totally start our own regular group on there.
Now y'all
That's
gotta
too
go
funny.
pirate the Matrix Online. We'll get a fucking
Matrix
bootleg,
Online. Hell yeah,
we'll get a
dude.
bootleg private server running.
I am 100% in for this.
Matrix 4 is coming out.
Yeah.
It's now as best time as ever.
There you go. They'll bring that back. The Matrix Online, like our private server, is leading directly into Matrix 4. We're a part of the storyline now.
Come on, check out my Matrix 4 ARG.
What else have you been playing, Tom?
That's pretty much it. I have I got a code for John Wick Hex. I haven't played
Okay.
it yet.
Cool.
I haven't installed. It's just been Destiny's been eating all my time,
Nice.
and I played a tiny bit of Grid, and that is a
Grid.
racing game.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a racing
Grid,
game. That,
yeah.
that came
Yeah,
out
it is.
today.
Cool.
Is it
It
good?
came out today?
It's
Yeah.
I thought the game was already
Now,
out.
is it a racing game like a racing game, or is it a racing game like Blur and Split Second?
It's closer to like the Forza Horizon type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not totally sim, but it's not super arcadey.
What was that badass? It was like Blur, but it was around that time frame, the Blur Split Second time frame. There was maybe it was Blur. That was
it
like a
Split
fucking
Second?
Split second. Okay, maybe it was.
Was
both those.
Split Second the one where like you drive through, and it would have the quote unquote like levolution and
Yep.
like
Yeah.
all right,
Yes.
you're driving through, and now a building fell down.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can make a
Three's
plane
gonna be
blow up
different.
or whatever. Yeah.
That game was made by Disney Interactive,
Yes,
right?
It
yes,
was.
it was. Fuck, that was awesome. That I'm looking at it right now.
And-
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Windows, iOS had that, and then PSP had a version of that game.
That game is $19.99 on Steam.
Oh my god, wait, and the best of all, the game was released in May 2010. The game was released in June 2011 for OnLive.
Oh
Nice.
So
fuck.
there you go. That was an awesome game. That and Blur. I remember playing both of those games and absolutely loving them because they came out within like a couple months of each other. Weirdly
Yeah.
enough, I think something like that. But yeah, shit, I gotta get back into that game. That was a blast. Split Second. What have you been playing?
Split Second is Xbox One backwards compatible
Is it?
as well.
Oh
so-
shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about Blur? Is Blur on the Xbox One backwards compatible?
Was Blur the one that like would be like
Blur was
you
the
have
kart
pods.
racer, but with cars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shitty ass power ups.
Yeah, not fun power-ups.
I still fucking no. Well, that wasn't the game. There was another one. There was like an off-roady one. It wasn't Blur. There was like an off-road style.
Are you thinking Motorstorm?
No.
Are you thinking Dirt?
Maybe it was no. It wasn't Dirt. Fuck. It'll come to me by the end of this episode. But I remember there being a pretty awesome off-road during that time frame.
Fucking put some respect in your mouth. It's Colin McRae's Dirt.
Far be it from me to besmirch the good name of Colin McRae.
The good name of Colin McRae. Oh shit. I'm gonna find it. But what about you, JJ? What have you been playing, dude?
Ukulele in the Impossible Lair. That's what I've been
Nice. Yuka freaking Lele.
playing. Yeah.
This
It's
is
Donkey
like
Kong
the-
Country,
It's
so
like the
it's fine.
side-scrolling-ish one.
Yeah, it's Donkey Kong Country. That's all it
okay,
is.
All right.
It's actually very, very good. It's better to like for them to have gone that route than just making Donkey Kong 64 like they did the first time around.
Mhm.
It's you can actually just beat that game like when you start it, because the impossible layer that you're supposed to beat, which would be the final level, is like available from the get-go. And if you're just good at video games, you can beat it, but you're trying to collect. You're going through the collectathon nonsense of amassing a bee army to help you through the impossible layer. So, like, I'm not good at video games, so there is no beating the impossible layer for me after only 2 levels or so. So, yeah. But yeah, it's just it looks, feels, and plays like Donkey Kong Country, and that's kind of great. Even though there's a Donkey Kong Country for the Switch, so
Pure. The game was pure. That's what it fucking
Pure.
was.
Oh, that's the one with the quad on the
Yeah, it
cover.
was the quad. The guy like leaping with off the quad. Yeah, I love
Okay,
that
I
game.
thought you were
That was really
talking about Nailed.
good. No, God, nailed.
and what was that's the first time anyone's talked about Pure in like 10 years by this point. How long? When did
Holy
that game
shit.
come out?
Nah, they're all talking about Juiced instead.
You juiced. Hey,
I
there was
was always a rip wheel man myself.
Holy
Did I
shit,
just
that
make
was
that one
also
up?
Disney
Did
Interactive
anybody
Studio.
tell?
What was that, Aaron?
all you have to do is put 2 words together that
Yeah.
sound vaguely vehicle related,
Yep.
and there was some sort of
Speed motor.
Chevy Ford. No, wait, that doesn't fucking
wait a minute.
I don't think it works the same way.
doesn't work the
I'm
same
pretty sure
way.
that was a Skylander.
What else, JJ, besides ukulele?
The Ghostbusters
Mm.
remastered for the
know, it's-
Switch.
it's
They're
funny, I
playing
was
a little
gonna,
fast.
They asked me if I wanted a code, so I said, "Hey, anybody want this code?" JJ, what about you? Because I know you love Ghostbusters and you love
Ghostbusters.
kind of go back, and you're like, "That'd be great." Already got it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, then
yeah,
never
they
mind.
could- Yeah, they're playing it a little fast and loose with the word remastered these days.
Yeah.
But I
Is it like reported?
think-
Is that just?
yeah, I think it's just the PC version or the Xbox 360 version. I don't notice any difference. I don't know why it's.
Well, I heard it was
remastered,
the Wii version that they ported over because that was supposed to be weirdly like the weird but better motion control-y ish one. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Wii version was the cartoon one. They used a
Ah,
completely
that's right.
different, like
Yeah, that was
So-
the one where like you had to slap down the
yeah.
not the Joy-Con, the
the Wii
Wii
the
version.
Wiimote.
the Wiimote to snap the trap
Yeah.
shut.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it's just the 360 not the PS3 version, because the PS3 version had like worse visual effects going on for it. The 360 version just, I don't know, maybe the Xbox One PS4 version looks better, but this one's just, it's the PS3 version without multiplayer. They took the multiplayer
They're all
out of
pretty.
it.
They're all the same from what I've been told. They all
Yeah.
look the same.
Seems to run fine.
Okay.
It's always a worry when you get one of those that's like,
What-
it's just going to be a framey mess
What's
on the
that
Switch.
smile, Aaron?
I'm just reading shit. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But yeah, it's Ghostbusters. I still like that game. I'm in the minority on that, but I like the Ghostbusters.
I'm tempted
so.
to get it. I mean, it is the Halloween season, and like me some goofiness. And I know they're trying to get some. The only reason the game is out is they were trying to get some hype going for the eventual Ghostbusters movie. But
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'll pick it up. We'll see. Cool. What about you, Sam? What have you been playing, my dude?
Honestly, not
Hi,
much
Sam.
other than Destiny. Hello. I've not been here. Gosh, has it been like 2 or 3 weeks now?
Yeah,
I feel like
it's been a couple
been a
weeks.
while.
Maybe. Hasn't been too long.
yeah. I've been playing Destiny too. Yeah, it's still fun. Bungie knows how to make a shooter really well.
Best shooting in the biz.
Yeah,
They know they're shooting and looting, and boys, they're shooting and looting fun.
shooting and looting.
I will say I did play a little bit of Borderlands 3, and man, did I fall off that very quickly.
Huh.
And man, I'm
What's
so glad
that?
Destiny's there to fill that void, because that's what I was looking
What
for,
game
not
is this you're talking
Borderlands.
about?
Borderlands 3.
What game is that? I don't know what that is anymore.
Magnum opus of one Randall K. Pitchford.
Destiny 2 came out, and now every other loot shooter is fucking invalid.
Yeah, I was so excited for Borderlands 3. It's like, hell yeah, I love playing as like the Beastmaster Hunter classes and those things. And it took me exactly 5 minutes to go, oh, this character sucks. You can't tell this thing to do anything, and it doesn't listen to you. That's great. But yeah, Destiny 2's been great. Onboarding was a little weird. Like, I had played that first, I guess the first year that ended in, what is it? The last chunk was like the Warmind campaign or something like that.
Mhm.
And I must have gotten all the way up to the very last mission before I quit Destiny 2 the first time around. Because as soon as I showed up, it was like, hey, here's like 15 things you need to do. And then there's also this new shit. And you should go do that like as soon as possible. And also like Gambit's now a thing. So like go play that, I guess. And also here's a bow. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm back into it. So I don't know. I think they should have released something that was like, hey, bud, I know you've been gone for a while, but welcome back. And this is what you want to do first, as opposed to here's 50 things that you optionally could do first. And you're gonna feel like you chose the wrong one no matter what. So go fuck yourself.
How awesome would it be if you came back to Destiny 2 after a length of time and it just boots up a cutscene of that fucking Nathan Fillion robot guy with like a chair from school and he flips it backwards and sits in it and he's wearing like a sweater vest and he's like, hey bud, I know you're going through some changes right now. And proceeds to just walk through the
He
game.
can't do that. He's
Spoiler alert.
fucking dead.
Yeah,
that's
if
fine,
you didn't
doesn't
play
matter.
Forsaken, which is a $25 purchase, you fucking just don't know where he's at. And I don't know how they handle that for Last Light people that like never played Destiny 1. They're like, who's this Cade 6 dude? And then all of a sudden they get to Shadowkeep and they're like, where the fuck did Cade 6 go? But I mean, it's been fun. Yeah, the lore is I was like, okay, I should prep myself to get back into Destiny. Let's watch a lore video or something. And every single fucking lore video for that game on YouTube is like 2 hours long.
No, you gotta get the 4-hour one.
I know.
Oh,
I started
shit.
it. I had a day off and I was like, all right, I'm gonna catch up on this lore video. And I got like 45 minutes in it. And it's segmented, and I was like, oof, I don't know if I can go through another 2 segments today. That was brutal.
Was it the My Name is Biff ones?
I have no idea who it was, but it spent 45 minutes on explaining like why the Hive are like the most important people and why they're like the oldest records. And it's like, how do we know any of this? We can speak their stupid language. Like, what do you? They just hiss at each other.
There was one. I was looking up Destiny 2 stuff at one point because I think I genuinely like that game even though I don't play it anymore. And there was one video like that, but it took itself so incredibly seriously that like the first second of that, I'm like, all right, this one seems good. Click, and then it's like loading. The Hive. Nope.
Yeah, those are the
looking-
videos. Those are the good ones.
I'm looking for the one that just tells you what's up. I don't need the dramatic
My name is
narration.
Biff. The complete story of Destiny from Origins to Shadowkeep, timeline and lore explained. 3 hours and 57 minutes.
Who's it from?
My name is Biff.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the dude. That's the guy.
I don't
Yeah,
need to hear about the Undermound. Just tell me what's up with these guys shooting guns.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna be
man,
honest. They said a lot of people were related to each other, and they like kept showing like artist renderings of what these characters look like. I'm like, they're all the same kind of
Hold
weird
on, hold
monster,
on.
dude.
Hold on. Let me reach over to the bookshelf right next to my computer and grab my physical edition of the Volume 1 of the Destiny lore book.
Is this what the podcast is now? You're just going to do a live read of Destiny lore book?
Grimoire Anthology, Volume 1, Dark Mirror. Here we go. What's the first thing? Destiny Universe created by Bungie. Forward by someone.
All I'm saying is that if the
Book of
majority
Sorrow.
if the majority of your game's enemies have pedipalps, I don't need their genealogy.
I made it through the Golden Age, and they mentioned like the Black Armory, and I was like, "Who the fuck is the Black Armory?"
Oh, the Black
And
Armory's fucking.
I booted up the game, and that was one of the 60 things. It's like, hey, go meet the Black Armory, who doesn't like Guardians and think you all suck, but definitely needs your help. So go help them. I'm like, all right, like I guess. Just are you gonna give me a cool gun at the end? That's all I really want.
Yeah, totally. We're gonna give you a cool gun.
All I
All right,
can
let's
say
go.
is Destiny Grimoire Anthology Volume 2 Fallen Kingdom coming to bookstores near you November 12th, 2019.
Yes.
Bungie, please give me money.
So, if you're doing the Cade 6 treasure if you're doing the Cade 6 treasure maps, if you're doing those treasure maps, did they just not work anymore now that he's dead? Like, how does that work?
Wait, what Cade 6 treasure map? Oh, from like year 1?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I guess you do it once and then fucking like it's gone.
Oh, I thought they were like a weekly.
People that are dead can have treasure maps. If you find a pirate treasure map today, that pirate's not alive.
Yeah, but every time you found one of the things from a treasure map, you get like a little voiceover from Cade 6 being like, "Oh yeah, I was drinking at a bar in Venus."
I don't think the treasure maps are there anymore. The last treasure maps you get come from Cade 6 himself, and he left them for people after he died because he assumed he leaves one for everyone that he thinks would have killed him, and it leads you to his gun. And then you get the gun, and then you just wreck shop in PvP because it's way too good for it, and that's all it's good for.
Or you're like me, and everything that's like, oh, I wonder what this is. It goes, sorry, you're gonna have to buy Forsaken to get this cool bow.
Yo, for what it's worth though, those cool bows own bones.
Are they good,
so
good in PvP?
I'm not good with them, but I'm constantly killed by them. I'm a hand cannon guy.
I gotta see if I can cut that audio out and use it every time you get a message from Tom. I'm a hand cannon kind of guy.
So
other than that, I haven't been playing too much. Just been playing, messing around with the little Super NES games on Switch. Realized I can still beat Super Mario World in the like 16 levels or whatever the like Star World path. That's fun and also sad that I remember that and then sometimes not my own home phone number. So
do you know your partner's social security number?
I barely know mine.
But you fucking know how to get through Mario with 16 stars.
Yeah, no, I could tell you what my phone number was from like age 1 to like 15, but I can't tell you what my social security number is without thinking too hard, or what the pin on my cell phone is sometimes. So there's that. And then otherwise, I've only been playing After Effects, which is a game just as deep a lore as Destiny
that game
2.
Sucks.
Yeah, how does After Effects work with your brand new SSD?
Let me tell you, After Effects has a very steep learning curve, and the loot is terrible.
Yeah, and it's like a roguelike where you'll sit there and you'll try very hard to do something, and then you'll fucking quit because it's a useless program made by Satanists.
Or it'll just crash out completely, which is the equivalent of dying, and then when you respawn, none of your stuff is there anymore.
Yeah, and the autosaves are from the shit that you screwed up on, and you like had to backtrack for about an hour because you definitely did something you didn't want to do.
Literally the worst respawn points.
Iron Man mode.
Yeah.
One button on the keyboard can ruin your entire project, and you could hit it without even knowing.
Hey, but Sam, did you know that you could do emotes with the directional buttons in After Effects?
Yeah. After Effects is for Satanists. But you know what? I am actually learning more than I did in college because my After Effects class in college was there's After Effects, and that was it.
Good luck.
Yeah. So I to be honest, I think I'm better at it than Photoshop now, which is weird because I've used Photoshop since I was in like high school. But yeah. And to your comment about the SSD, it's actually been pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to transfer. So I transferred my project from like I use a normal hard drive for all my games and stuff on my computer, but I use like an SSD for my OS, and then I was also using it for like Premiere and stuff. And then when I finished the project, I was exporting everything off to storage. But I moved everything from my OS SSD over to this SSD, and I've never transferred files from one SSD to another SSD. Mm-hmm. And that took this is like a 100 gig project or whatever, and that only took like 3 minutes. And that's awesome. I think all technology should operate that way.
Let me tell you about my hot hard drive experience right now is I recently got a external USB-C to USB-C SSD. And I run all of my my project files on that through the USB-C cable, and it actually works faster than most of the things I do locally.
Wow.
Damn. I do have a USB-C port on my computer. Maybe I should look into doing that stuff. Except for at work, today I worked with a Windows XP machine, a Windows 7 machine, a Windows Vista machine,
a
Windows 10 machine because that's my laptop. And then I think those volleyball scoreboards are running on Windows 95. It could be 98. They're on like Dell laptops. Or actually, no, I take that back. They're on Gateway laptops that still have like the weird square cow logo on them.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it had the cow.
Yeah, holy shit, those things
So
are archaic.
you mean to tell me when you're at a sporting event and somebody scores a goal and you look up at the scoreboard and it takes like a second for the score to change? That's not because they're like confirming the result. It's because they're on ancient ass laptops and that's how long it takes.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's also why they have 3 songs, which include Gary Glitter, Rock and Roll Part 2.
I will tell you that I am the master of approving songs before they're allowed to be played at venues. And I've had to deny quite a bit this year. There's been numerous times where I've had to explain to people that just because you went through and you tried to edit out all of the cusses and different stuff in there, or it's the clean version of a song, doesn't mean I'm allowed to play it. It doesn't mean I'm allowed to play it at a family-friendly event.
Sam tells him, "I'm sorry, it's only rock and roll all night. That's all we got."
Somebody tried to give me that DMX song where he talks about forcing somebody to suck his dick, and like I had to explain to somebody how that wasn't okay, and they're like, "Well, it's edited," and I go, "Yes, but the part where he goes and suck my dick." That's not okay. I can't play cornhole like 15 feet away from it in the bounce funplex. I can't have that happen.
Listen, there are children here. We can't play Funky Cold Medina. It gets oddly transphobic in a certain part. We can't just do that to these children.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think my favorite line so far this podcast is DMX yelling, "Suck my dick," with 13-year-old kids playing cornhole just a few feet away.
For all of those that don't live in a dumb state, cornhole is beanbag toss, the same beanbag toss game you played as a child in kindergarten, but now for drunk adults.
Yeah.
To go back to your thing about the score being updated, our scoreboard actually updates really well. Like the Daktronic system that like pushes that information goes really well. I live in the world where my scoreboards for the one arena are so old that their resolution is actually worse than the original Game Boy. Now it does do full RGB, but it's literally like a red, a green, and a blue light that light up. And yes, that's how all things work. But I mean like so big that the bulbs are like chroma shifted a little bit to like the eye. So like we have one team in the league that's purple, and my team is blue. So I put a blue graphic next to a purple graphic, and because purple needs both red and blue, although I made the graphic the same like elevation levels, the purple is actually looks like it's like 3 inches higher than the blue because that's how it generates that color.
And that's how the lights are aligned.
Yeah, and the bottom of the image is all blue because the reds are like virtually dead in that row. So like. I also can't go below a size 10 font because if I do, it just becomes a white line. Like it's not actually a thing. I have to blow up people's like headshots to an extent that like, I'm one size away from it looking like those punch out graphics you ever seen somebody do where they take like a frame and you take like every 15 pixels or whatever and you punch it out and then you put everything together and it vaguely looks like it. That's pretty much what the headshots look like on that thing.
Making headshots with a light bright, basically.
Oh, yeah. And let's hope to God they're not wearing a bright t-shirt because there's a chance that their shoulder just won't exist because it'll color bleed into everything around it.
Jesus.
Yep. That's the world I live in, and it's also not like a 16:9 ratio. It's like a weird, like, well, I don't know about this board, but I have one board that's like 7:34 or something dumb like that, or like 18:39 or something. I don't know. It's the world of arena boards is ridiculous.
I'm looking at a picture of what I think is because I know where you work. For the most part. And I don't know how you do this.
You send me whatever photo you're looking at and I'll confirm or deny whether that's it. But it's interesting because I have a nice video wall that's like over 4K because it's just a bunch of like 1080p screens put together, and I can put anything from like 1080p up to 4K, probably 8K, but no one in my league is making that sort of footage. But then I have the postage stamp board, and then I have like other boards that like aren't HD but are somehow like vaguely hanging out in that region. Yeah, and it's fun. I highly don't recommend it.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Damn.
Fuck.
Sounds like it's way more interesting than anything I've been playing. I have been playing Guess the Mystery Oreo.
What's it taste like? Because I drank Mystery Mountain Dew.
Oh shit. Okay, so first of all,
Whoa, Mystery Mountain Dew exists in the world? Where do I get that?
It's called Voodoo, spelled VOODEW.
oh no, really? It's not
Yeah.
VEWDEW.
It is clear. It is like that white stuff. It looks like squirt,
Hi.
and it tastes. It tastes like Starburst and candy corn mixed, like melted together.
Yes, that's exactly what it tastes like. It's like all the gross stuff out of a candy bag that's just kind of hung out too long.
You know when you chew Starburst and you have like the juice just floating around. That's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
I had a Mountain Dew Voltage for the first time ever, like a week
Nah,
or
just
two
stick
ago.
Code Red, man.
Well, Code Red's good, but Voltage just tastes like somebody took Sour Patch Kids and
Monster.
melted them down.
It's fun fact about Long Island, at least, and Monster Energy is you can tell the poverty level of a town based on like the frequency you see. No, hold on, this isn't going to but based on the frequency at which you see Monster Energy stickers on cars.
Yeah.
You have to be high class to have Rockstar or Red Bull.
When I lived in a really bad neighborhood, every other car had like 4 Monster Energy stickers on the back of it.
That's when you lived in a good neighborhood. They were all 5-hour energy.
Yeah, no, out here it's all Bang Energy. Thank you
It's
very
all
much.
Bang energy.
Everybody's on that Bang energy.
I
now.
need energy, but it also needs to taste like bubble gum.
I was at Target and there was a Bang Energy. The flavor was Rainbow Unicorn.
Oh, bad. I don't think we have Bang energy out here. have to
Did
check.
you go to E3 this year, Dolly?
No, I didn't.
There was a Bang Energy booth where they had
Hell yeah.
very scantily clad ladies just
Hell
dancing.
yeah. We're back to old E3 with Bang energy.
But it was that far right corner, and it was angled
shit,
away
yeah,
from the
well,
shelf
okay.
or against the wall. So it was literally like they were doing a concert for nobody.
That fucking corner, dude. Oh my god, yeah. I'm gonna give some ASMR here's some ass mister to everybody. ASMR. All right, let's try this. Let's see what this sounds like.
I hate it, thanks.
All right, I've got a semi. What are we doing next?
It tastes like a shitty Oreo. Let's see. I've been playing more of that Zelda. I don't know what this tastes like. It just tastes like an Oreo, by the way. I've been playing the more of that Zelda game.
Which one? Link's Crossbow Training?
Link's Crossbow Training. Yep, still as good as it always was. What a fantastic game. No, Link's Awakening.
The one with the werehog in it.
Yes. And I talked about that before. And I think last week or the week before, maybe it was last week, I can't remember. I talked about Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. So we're playing that.
Yeah.
And then this week I've been playing Killer Queen Black. We got ourselves a code for that bad boy.
Oh,
And it comes out tomorrow. If you're listening to this on Thursday, it comes out tomorrow. We are probably listening to this on Monday. That's when I'll get around to posting it. So it came out a few days ago. It's way more complex than I thought it would be. I thought it was just like this multiplayer online version of Joust, right?
No, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Holy
that
shit!
can-
Is there a lot going on in this game? I've never played. It's been in like certain arcades, right, on and off. It's been on tour in some places. I think it was at E3 a couple years ago. They actually had it on the show floor.
I played it at PAX 2 years
PAX,
ago.
there you go. And it's like the same demo unit they've been taking around everywhere. But essentially, it's sort of this one screen, 8-bit, 16-bit-ish design, and there's 3 ways to win. So it's like, I don't know, there's like 10 players on the side or 8 players. I don't know. There's a bunch of players. There's like 5 or 6 players on the side, and there's usually 2 teams. And your goal is to win in one of 3 ways. The first way is just kind of kill their queen. So there's basically queens or workers and like soldiers. The queen is the most powerful because the queen can go around. It can kind of do this side attack and then a downward attack. The soldier can just do a side attack. And then the workers actually harvest cherries or balls or whatever. Berries, sorry. In the game. So you can be any of these 3. And again, there's 3 ways to win. The first way is just you kill the queen 3 times, the opposing team's queen. The second way is to collect berries and kind of fill up your hive with berries. Like there's usually like anywhere between 15 to 20 berries you need to collect. I mean, every one of the maps is different, but there's usually a bunch of berries you need to collect. And then there's the ultimate slow way to win, which is you ride a fucking snail off the stage. And that's it. There's the 3 ways. So there's economic victory, there's battle victory, and then there's snail victory. And economic is collecting the berries, and then battle is killing the queen, and then snail is get off the stage with the snail. And your character literally hops on top of the snail and rides off until either the queen or a soldier, whatever drone, kills it and knocks him off. And it gets kind of fucking chaotic because your character, your playable character looks exactly the same as all the other playable characters. So trying to figure out who you are compared to everybody else on your side, at least. And there's usually like a blue team and a gold team or whatever. Blue team, red team, that kind of thing. Makes it difficult because if everybody looks the same, the only difference is your name is floating above your character. So your playable character. But yeah, the more I play it, the more it feels like a strange chess match style action game, like a multiplayer action game, because you're not really like, you could try to kill the queen really quickly, but the queens move around really fast, and you can get out of the way very quickly. But the more berries you collect, and the more gates, which allow you to kind of gain weapon, like move up from drones to soldiers. The more of those you collect, the more drones, I guess, the harvesters pop up on your side, and so you can actually get like more teammates and shit along the way. It gets really hectic really fast, and each battle lasts like around a minute and a half, 2 minutes, somewhere around there. But yeah, they're fucking crazy, and every map looks and feels the same, but it feels just different enough where you're kind of like, I was always kind of hoping that I would get one that had less harvesting to do, because the snail feels like a waste of time until you realize that the other team has been inching the snail across the stage. And they're about to win, and then you're panicking because you got to catch up to the fucking snail and kill the rider and try to get it all the way back to the other side, or at least get it to the midpoint. And then when you start doing that, they've gone and killed your queen once or twice. You've got to kind of regroup and do that. So there's so many things you have to juggle that it turns what feels like a very simple Nidhogg or Duck Game style game into super complex management. And it really does take a lot of like, there's they call it like TeamSpeak or team chat built into it, but there's a lot of team management that you need to have to be successful. It's like the first few matches we lost because all of us were relatively new. If you go on the rankings right now, there's like 70 people total that are actually on the ranked. There's a quick play mode, but there's also ranked. Yeah, there's only like 75 of us on ranked total. And the majority of folks have losses, except for the devs, who seem to have a lot of wins. The devs will play us as well. So, but I'm digging it, and I think it's the kind of game that's going to have really long legs when it comes to people playing it at events. Like I don't know if it's necessarily like a party style game, like I don't think you're gonna have a lot of people over. I think you can play 4 people on split screen on the Switch. We're playing on Switch. 2 people on one Switch, and then like 4. I think 4 between 2 Switches. You look wirelessly connect one, I guess. But it's it's complex as fuck, and it's cool because of that. So I'm gonna play it more. I've already got some notes put together for my review, which will go live tomorrow at some point when the game releases. But it's not a party game, but definitely competition. Like this will be played a lot at PAX East, at Indiecade, and that kind of shit. I mean, it's that kind of game. So you totally expect. I'm expecting this to be in like little mini tournaments here and there. It's definitely a great show floor game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
See that at Evo.
yeah, maybe a good possibility. Yeah, that's all I've been playing, and then more of Mario Kart Tour because I'm a sadist. But that's it. So let's talk some news. You did mention the SSD stuff earlier, Sam, and I think it's going to come into. Whoa, there go my headphones. The SSD news of the week, which was the PlayStation 5 details were released. Aaron, you typically handle the news, but I'm just jumping in with this one because it's a good lead in.
Yeah, you go for it.
PS5 details. As we all knew it was going to come out, it's been announced that PS5 is coming out next fall, holiday season, I should say. You okay over there, Tom?
All good.
Are you BeJUULed?
Yeah.
By the way, there's a fucking
Julius Caesar.
You're drinking an orange Julius. There's a whole fucking game that could be rhyming Jewel. Anyway, so PS5. They talked about. I mean, I think in the news, Wired had it, and then Sony on their blog posted it too. Wired focused on more of the hardware and the some of the improvements the SSD is going to make. It sounds pretty cool. I think the point that they alluded to, which was, instead of having a million trees that somebody has to create in place, now you can create like 4 or 5 trees and place them. I'm using this as an example, but place them strategically, and it's just pulling from that same data over and over again. So it's much less resource heavy in terms of the amount of data. Granted, games are still going to come on 100 gigabit discs, which is still too small to fit Call of Duty, apparently, and Red Dead Redemption on PC. But that should be really interesting when it comes to grabbing data off the hard drive and making games a lot quicker and memory efficient, I guess. And then they spend time talking about the controller and sort of the haptics. So it'll give you developers like adjustable feedback on the triggers, right? So racing games might have pedals that start off really tight for some cars, other cars are looser, and the triggers can react that way. Maybe pulling back a bowstring as you're pulling down on the trigger, the more you pull back, the tighter the trigger gets. So you kind of can find that sweet spot as you're doing it.
The haptic feedback thing, the way they described it made me vaguely uncomfortable.
How so?
Well, the example in the thing that I was reading, the example that I saw quoted was like, oh yeah, if you were walking through a grassy field, the haptic feedback is designed in such a way that you can actually tell that it's grass. And I'm like, I don't want my controller rubbing against my fingers like I'm running my hands through.
Feel the grass.
Feel the grass. HD Rumble,
Feel
baby.
the grass, be the grass.
Count the ice cubes, feel the grass.
Count the ice cubes, feel the grass.
Yeah, but imagine Journey if it felt like you were slogging through sand the whole time.
Oh god, yeah, that's gonna be wonderful.
Now all they need is like, ooh, I'm on ice, it's so cold.
Well, now all they need is to get that Res full body haptic suit, and
there you
we'll
go.
just go that way.
Was that Res or Res VR or both?
That was whatever the remake was that came with the Area X.
Okay.
They were
The
demoing
VR
with the
version,
full body
yeah.
suit.
That's badass. Anybody else have any thoughts about the PS5? How much is a bad boy going to cost us?
$600.
$800.
I'm thinking 600.
But
But then Sony.
I'm saying,
$800 for Aaron.
yeah, I'm saying 800, and I'm not specifying which currency I'm talking in.
So I've been listening to Business Wars podcast which is a really cool podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's basically like the history of two companies kind of battling back and forth. And they had Sony and Nintendo, kind of their history together when Nintendo backstabbed Sony and why.
Yeah.
And then they had Sony and Microsoft and that whole story. And that was super, I think that was like a year or so ago. That was super interesting because that price mic drop, and I tweeted about this earlier, that price mic drop that Sony did to, back at E3 2013 when they said, we're going to do it for $3.99 and fucking Xbox like an hour earlier said $4.99 or whatever it was. Sony did that to Sega with the Dreamcast way back in '95 when they just they unloaded on them, and like the balls of the PlayStation CEO who after Sega went and did their whole big presentation and for the Saturn, it's not the Dreamcast, Saturn, and they said the Saturn's available today. It's like at certain retailers. By the way, no retailers had it that day. They were all freaking out because even game developers didn't have their games ready. And it was retailing for like $3.99. And then the Sony guy gets up on stage and he's like, brings this whole big stack of papers, looks at the stack of papers, looks at everybody out in the crowd, and just says $2.99 and walks off the stage. And that was it. It was like an even bigger mic drop way back then. But I think I'm thinking $4.99. I think it's suicide to go over $500.
They've done it before, and in the middle of a recession.
Giant enemy crabs. It was right at a recession.
Job.
Yeah. What's that?
I said just get a second job.
Get a second job. There's plenty of those right now.
I think it's a much also like everyone would freak out, but it is a much easier sell now in the age of my phone is $1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, but then
video cards are like people are buying $1,000 for a video card they're going to replace in 18 months.
Yeah, but people also stop buying video cards once the price spiked because of Bitcoin or because of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, but
right?
that ended, and now I know multiple people who aren't like in the industry or like super wealthy who upgrade their video cards every 18 months and have bought like they've gone from the 1070 to the 2080 to the 2080 Super.
Hey, you know anybody with a spare 2080?
I might. I'll talk off cast. But yeah, like people are like a lot more willing to spend money on consoles and like equipment than they have been. Like look at the success of like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X.
I think there's gonna have to be some catch though. Like I almost think that you have to kind of make it backwards compatible when the PS5 launches. Like, for instance, every launch title.
They already said that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you can literally take the disc from a PS5 game and pop it into your PS4. At least the launch lineup, and say any of the games you get on PS5.
I don't think that will ever happen, just based on how software licensing works.
Of course, yeah.
But like they could do the same thing that like Xbox has already said that's how it's going to work. They said you take your save file from Halo Infinite on Xbox One and on whatever Xbox 2 is, you just pick it up right from where it was.
Yeah. I'm super curious how they're gonna have to how they're gonna sell this thing, 'cause that's a lot of money. We're heading into a recession in the US, for actually global recession with all this
yeah, we are.
With all the tariffs and stuff. It's gonna be a hard ass sell next year, and you could see like Nintendo just whip their junk out and say, "Hey, we're dropping our price to $199 or $250 for the main Switch, and we're throwing." Well, they never drop their price anymore, but they could say we're gonna have our Switch Pro, which is kind of comparable to almost the PS4 in games, and we're still gonna only sell it for $299. So here's our junk, but it's gonna be real weird. I don't know. It's a lot of money, and you got Xbox in there as well, which we haven't heard. They're kind of going back and forth on details, but
I just say my favorite part of that reveal article was like right at the beginning when he's like, "It feels nice to say that we can like finally reveal that it's being called the PS5." Like, does it feel that nice? Like, no one expected you to call it like the Sony Floopy Loop or something like that.
Fuck, but that's an awesome ass name though, Floopy Loop.
I would throw down on a PlayStation Floopy Loop.
Yeah,
that's what PSVR 2 is. Apparently, PSVR is too hard to say, so Floopy Loop is the new one.
Floopy Loop.
So what do you think? February, we get the announced like the conference where it's like, this is the PlayStation. We're not going to show you what it looks like, but here's what
Yep.
it can do. We'll have Mark Cerny
Yeah.
next to a bunch of TVs that are being filmed with him standing next to it, trying to explain how good the HDR looks on the TV. But you can't see it at home. But please just trust me. I'm Mark Cerny. I know what I'm talking about.
Look
Well,
how many ducks are on the screen.
How many ducks are so
Look at how many particles are in NAC this time.
they're at what did they say? They're at like 90 something million PlayStation 4s, like 90 million or 85 million or something PS4s. And by saying the PS5 is coming next fall, I mean that sort of puts a weird
91.6 million.
Yeah, it puts consumers in a weird spot because you're gonna have people now who are just gonna say, "Well, I'm just gonna wait till the next time around." Right? I mean, it's only a year away. I'll hold on to my current PS4 right now. I'll just buy or Xbone. I won't buy the other console. I mean, yeah, sales have been going down every year the last couple of years, but this has probably got to put a bigger. I mean, you might see some like bottoming out prices for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Like I'm thinking, like you might see prices at like the 165 or 170, 175 this year.
Yeah, Black Friday sales on some of these consoles, so
fucking
then
crazy.
like
I mean,
I was
months or
getting-
whatever, going to be nuts.
Like 3 years ago, I got a 1S for 179.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You might get them for 150 or less this year. That's true.
And I traded it into GameStop for more than I paid for it for my Xbox One X.
There you go.
Look at
It was
fucking
like
Jeff Grubb.
$250.
Jeff Grubb just tweeted standalone PSVR called PSVR Vita that plugs into PS5 for more power. You fucking asshole. He just took the floop-de-loop idea and is just.
He is in the chat saying PS5 is a lie.
That
PlayStation
motherfucker. Okay, now I see it. You goddamn it, you Jeff. I should have you on. We should include you on the show right now just for the hell of it. Yeah, I don't know. I want the PS5 just because I fucking want a new PlayStation, but who knows? Jeff says no. He's not in the chat. What else?
I know myself too well that
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have both.
I am fucking horny for new consoles,
Me
man.
too.
Yes.
Me too. Me too.
I now own 2 Switches. I'm definitely gonna own.
Oh, you got
PS5 and
which
Xbox.
color light did you get again? You got the turquoise one, right?
Yeah, got the yellow.
Oh, you got the yellow, which is nice. That's the color I'll probably end up getting. As I have
Everything's
travel.
If there's a yellow
Switch.
option, I buy it. That's my.
You know what's funny is that the Switch Lite theoretically by the end of this year could outsell the PS4 Pro in Japan, which is pretty crazy because it's just selling like hotcakes already, and you got Pokemon coming out. So,
Yeah.
what other news we got?
Isn't that-
Ron?
Isn't that crazy though? I mean, the DS always outsold
Yeah,
everything.
it did.
Yeah.
It did.
People take trains.
Yeah, but the Switch is still outselling the Switch Lite, which is
Yeah, because it's a better product.
it is
Yeah.
the new Switch with the better battery.
Which we're finally, at least in my area, we're at a tipping point where all the old stock seems to be gone and all I see are the new ones in store.
Same here.
Nice.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, obviously your mileage will vary, but
Yeah.
at least 2 of us now are now only seeing those sweet red boxes.
I live in the hometown of Nintendo. They're not gonna let that. They're not gonna let that happen. So.
Oh,
What else we got, Aaron?
I got a couple other stories here. 2 quick
Joker
ones.
fever is sweeping the nation.
Joker fever. Everybody's getting to
exactly
the
0
theaters.
deaths so far, but we're expecting millions.
And
Yeah.
boy,
Speaking of Gary Glitter, that's Joker Fever.
and boy, are people online very upset that no one died at this thing.
Let me guess who is upset. Let me guess which faction of people are upset.
Wait, guys, don't. Yeah, it's about killing men. I guess. I don't know. What's the news?
What's the news?
Speaking of killing men, Reggie Fils-Aimé was
Go on.
inducted into the International Video Game Hall of Fame with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Killed it.
My boy.
That's our boy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was it. It was just he's in there now. He's
That's
doing his
really
thing.
the
I
only
think
news we ever actually need is just Reggie news.
anytime I see anything about Reggie, I make a point to include it.
That my big hulking meat dad.
They're teaching at Cornell.
Yeah.
I think it's Cornell, right?
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah. Mike Ibarra is leaving Xbox after 20 years.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, that's why this is interesting. So I saw this one first, and then it seems like a bunch of the leads from like Mixer are leaving. Like it
Yes.
seems like a lot of the Mixer
both
staff
the
are
both
jumping
the
ship.
co-founders of Mixer.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, how do you compete with Ninja, right? I mean, he's obviously in there to take their jobs.
Yeah.
He now owns Mixer. Is that like?
I saw the really interesting thing about Ninja and Mixer, where apparently like Ninja successfully retained his view numbers, like what they expected would follow him over, but that's not translating into any exposure anywhere else on Mixer.
No, it's not like it's. What do they say? One tide raises all ships, whatever that means. But however they say. There you go. But it doesn't even be happening here at Mixer.
Yeah, it doesn't happen when everyone else isn't in a ship and they're just drowning.
It doesn't happen when everybody else sucks. The Gearbox versus Calendar lawsuit back and forth is officially done.
Did they say what was the official phrasing? It was really funny.
The official. I have it here. It was upon review of all evidence in the case, it was of the opinion of counsel that the evidence exonerated Randy Pitchford from the allegations against him. All misunderstandings between the parties have been corrected, and apologies were exchanged because the parties are mutually bound by confidentiality. No additional statements will be forthcoming.
To which Randy tweeted, as the day for... Oh, no, this was in January. Never mind.
This is in January.
For anybody who doesn't know, Calendar was the original guy who accused Pitchford of stealing $12 million, and also is the one that broke the story about him having USB drive that he lost full of porn.
Look, man, he just wanted to see how squirting works.
It was a magic trick. I'm
studying.
I'm given to understand.
Shit, man. She was a magician.
She was a magician.
But yeah, so they both sides essentially agreed to drop their suits with prejudice, so it's done. They can't be relitigated. Yeah, so that's one lawsuit against Gearbox gone.
One of many. Check.
And I think that's all the news. I don't think anything else happened. I don't think there's any big.
There was
World Stage.
No, there isn't anything like World Stage, but there is. Doom Eternal got delayed to March.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah, thank God. I actually am.
Have you guys looked at the March release window?
Holy shit!
It's fucking packed.
It's worse
Doom and
than
Animal Crossing on the same day. That's
yes.
what
That
I
means when Tom Nook says, "I've started building your house. Come back tomorrow morning in real world time." You have a video.
That's
game
when you
to go
started playing Doom. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so nice to Bethesda to send its game out to die against Animal Crossing.
Mr. Rossetti's gonna pop up and be like, "Sorry, Doom guy."
Sorry, I saw you like other games. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Listen, if Doom Eternal is on the Switch, all I'm saying is let my villager have a Doom guy helmet. That's just.
Well, that one's the unfortunate aspect for anybody that will be buying it for the Switch is that it's delayed on the Switch for a little bit of time, which is probably going to be June, because that usually is like a 2 or 3 month delay with Nintendo on these things. So
I can't wait to get my Doom guy helmet.
Yes, yes.
But I am happy I don't have to pay for it within weeks of paying for that baby in a jar.
I want that baby in a jar so bad.
Did anyone else buy the
Nope.
baby in a jar?
Nope.
No, I'm just getting the system. That's
Are you getting the system?
Yeah. Yes, I'm getting the system.
Hell yeah.
No, but it's March is Animal Crossing, now Doom, Vampire the Masquerade 2, Watch Dogs Legion, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Oh jeez.
And something else that I can't remember.
I
All
trust
within
them
like
to
a 2
delay
week
Final
span.
Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll delay Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So there's that. I don't think there's anything else. I thought there was something else, but I've got this guy standing next to me. I think he was just with the NBA. He's telling me I'm not allowed to talk about anything.
Yeah, nope, can't talk
How's
about
your
it.
social credit score?
It's super high. I'm very loyal, and I only report on state-approved topics. So
As a Twitch affiliate, you're no longer allowed to talk about your opinions.
Hey guys,
yeah.
does anybody own Does anybody own anything that's free? Hong Kong is a town.
No, the channel's gonna get taken down, dog.
We've been censored. We're no longer available on channel. No, that whole situation.
All right,
So
now we're ready to-
I originally included this story when I was like gathering news for the week. It was day one of this where they had just banned the dude. Like the dude went out on stage, a Hearthstone champion named Blitzchung, and basically released a free Hong Kong message on camera. The broadcasters got out of his way to do it. So Blizzard essentially canceled him and kept all his money and banned him from playing for a year and fired the two casters. That was when I included the story. It has since gotten way crazy.
God, holy shit.
Now people are taking the Chinese character from Overwatch, Mei, and have redesigned her to be a free Hong Kong protester.
Fuck yes.
In an
That's
effort to
awesome.
get Blizzard games banned from China anyway, which is
Yes.
what people assumed they were trying to do. And this was kind of
They'll do it too. China don't care.
no, China don't give a fuck. But this was kind of crazy because this happened in the same week as a bunch of other stuff, like the whole NBA thing
And
with the
then-
Houston
yeah.
Rockets, and then the other thing with the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, jeez. And then Apple, they pulled their Hong Kong app, the protest app.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think there was a Facebook thing.
I'm sure there was, yeah.
But yeah, China's making moves, man. And
But fucking Tim Sweeney.
yeah, the flip
That
side of
was
that
the
was Tim
best.
Sweeney's out there. Tim Sweeney's out there. People being like, "Doesn't Tencent own like 40% of your company?" And Tim Sweeney was just out there like, "Yeah, and I own the rest, so fuck it."
That's awesome.
Like, all right, Tim Sweeney, that's pretty cool.
Like, go off, King.
Yep.
But yeah, so that whole thing's pretty fucking gross. Especially the fact that they're just like, "No, we're keeping your money."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all those winnings that you already won, you can't have them now. It's like, what the fuck?
It's
Fuck
a
Blizzard.
strange ass time right now because China
And
is
China.
a
Fuck China.
Fuck China. China is a market that's waiting for gaming to come in, and so, people are making buttloads of money, and they're going to continue making that much money out there, and so everyone's doing their best to kind of capitalize on this growing.
And Jeff.
Yes. Hey Jeff. This growing economy over there. Baby in the Jarro. It's like, I don't know, it's such a weird ass thing because it's an oppressive totalitarian regime, government system over there, I should say. It's been that way for decades, and companies still value money over their end product. I guess
It's been that way. It's been that way for decades, but even a decade ago, it wasn't this bad.
Yeah.
Like they were, at the very least, they were more friendly to Western interests, I guess you would put it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last, like, you call it 5 years or so, like they've shut that shit down. Fucking Winnie the Pooh's over there, making everybody hate the Western nations.
If you want to know that reference, watch Last Week Tonight. There's it's very weird, very weird. I don't know what to say. I know what to say. I know what to say. Give that dude his fucking money. That's the right thing
Yeah.
to say. Yes, I will say that. Give that dude
Yeah.
his money, at least, because that's one thing. At least I do know. That's one thing I am knowledgeable on is give the dude his money.
He will get that money whether Blizzard wants to or not. I feel like.
Yeah, he has the power of the American law behind him. He can sue Blizzard's asses. What else you got?
What's up, Jeff?
There you go.
That's pretty much it. that was pretty much all the news, unless anybody else has anything else. The Gearbox thing was the big story, aside from the China thing. The China thing's like the story of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I mean, I assume that's going to be the story for the next few weeks because BlizzCon's in 3 weeks.
Yo,
Yes.
that's gonna be a fucking mess.
So, speaking of,
Diablo Immortal, baby.
I have a question. I got a question for the room. Given that BlizzCon's in 3 weeks, do you think they do a Q&A?
And nope.
I think they have.
Well, you think what?
I think that if they don't, it's gonna cause even more shit than if they did.
Yeah.
So it hasn't even been a year since is this some
Diablo
sort of
Immortal
off-season April Fool's joke? It hasn't been a year since that happened.
Nope.
So
Oh my
I actually
God.
forgot one part of the story. In protesting Blizzard, people were trying to delete their accounts, and it seems like the authentication methods weren't working, so people could not delete their accounts.
That seems like a good way to go
It's
about
taking
that.
folks like a couple hours to finally delete their accounts.
Yeah.
The authentication methods are not working. Oops, we don't know why you can't authenticate. I think it's root beer, by the way.
Oh boy.
Fuck. You boys want to pack it in?
Let's pack it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good show.
I don't
This
have
is a
any- I
really
don't have
great
anything
show.
else.
I love you. I love you guys. We had 5 people on the show. JJ, thank you
Wow.
for joining us yet again, my man.
Yeah. I'm able now. So why
There you
not?
go. Yeah, you've changed your you've changed your work schedule specifically so you can appear on the side quest more often. We
Yeah.
thank you for that sacrifice.
Yeah. I went to my boss and said, "Can I work Saturdays so I can?"
Let me work
I do have one more
Saturdays.
piece. I do have one more announcement. I
Go
forgot.
ahead.
Starting probably next week's show, I will have an actual mic and not this $30 piece of shit that
Oh,
makes it
that's
sound like
right.
I'm in a wind tunnel.
You got the
Tight.
good shit coming, don't you?
Yeah, I got an AT 2020 coming in.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I
That's
gotta
my
get the mixer.
favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah, mine too.
The AT 2020. It's the Audio Technica Walker, right?
I fucking quit.
Triple Force Friday release.
Thank you, Tom, for joining us again, my man.
Oh, I always want to, but it just never works out.
Yeah, we record at weird
I'm gonna
times.
try and be on more.
You're with us in spirit.
You're with us in spirit.
Oh yeah.
And also in reality, because we constantly talk about you when you're not on the
Yeah,
show.
exactly. That's the best part. It's usually every show is usually it's me and you, Aaron, and where the fuck is Tom? I don't know. He said he was gonna be on, but he's on. I see him on right now. It's green. He has the little check. Oh, he just went offline.
Oh, he's playing Destiny too.
He's playing Destiny too. Sam, thank you again.
Yeah, I show up all the time.
Go fix
And
that
sometimes
Windows
I don't.
95 ass.
Oh boy,
Scoreboard
let me
over
tell you,
there.
I have to have. I will say thank you to the now defunct game Gigantic for giving me a USB drive at a PAX East many years ago. Because for some reason, that's the only USB drive I own that will work.
That's fucking amazing. That may be the best story. Gigantic actually served a purpose years later after it went defunct. Had a cool style, but good stuff. And Aaron, thank you as usual. Twitch
Hey, what's
affiliate getting his this September streams in.
Did not stream any in September. I avoided all of September.
Donald Trump just launched his Twitch channel today, so gonna
I
compete
feel
against him.
so bad for the guy competing against us. Like bad time slot for him.
Hey man, Ninja left. Someone had to fill the void.
Someone has to go on Twitch and say the gamer word.
And now
See,
we're also
Jeff
on Twitch. Hey gamers,
Jeff Grubb
how can you? How you guys
timed
doing?
out.
What's that?
Jeff Grubb got timed out.
You
on
got
the-
timed out.
on the Trump Twitch thing. I'll get it right now. Where is it? Got timed out from Donald Trump's Twitch chat for the quote "no racism" rule because I said that Trump started a Twitch channel just so he could say the N word.
That's the ultimate gamer joke right there. It's so true. Holy shit. And I'm Dolly DeMoss. You can find us at SideQuesting. You can find JJ. Where can we find you, JJ?
the _double_J on
And also
Twitter.
check out your podcast, Disney Compendium.
DisneyCompendium.com or
Yeah.
wherever your podcasts go. It's there, guaranteed.
It's there. Sam, we can't find you anywhere because you're hidden.
No,
Did you
I'm
make
a
your
world
annual tweet yet?
exclusive.
World. Pure,
Even if I do make my annual tweet, it'll only go to about the 40 real accounts that follow me, because I am now private, much like a bathroom.
So if I retweet, oh, it won't let you retweet if you're private.
No,
I
man.
can't-
Now you gotta screenshot him and post it.
That's it. Yes, because going private helped.
Yeah, what even is my last tweet? Just out of curiosity
you're having
here.
a conversation with Gan about Joker.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Gan. You guys remember
Gan
Ryan
asked
Gan?
me. Gan asked me if I gave up on Smash like forever.
Oh, that's right.
No, I just don't have time, Gan. Because I'm playing Destiny 2. Now that I don't have time to play games,
Look,
Destiny 2 only right now.
Twitch affiliate Aaron Scratty Bones Kelly, where can we find you?
Hey, what's up?
Starting over.
Starting over. Hey everybody, September at.
You can find me anywhere that's relevant at Scratty Moans.
There you go. Tom.
find me pretty much anywhere at that Tom Johnson.
You can find me at Dolly Demowski. Like I said, at SideQuesting TV on the YouTubes, on the Twitches, and on the any meme-worthy thing to say by adding an S at the end of it. And that's it. We're done. We're done for the day, everybody. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next Side Quest.
Thanks for listening to the whole thing, Gan. I know you did.
All right, we